With the death of Count Dooku at the hands of Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, all that remained for the Jedi and the Republic was to find and kill both Grievous and the mysterious Sith Lord, to end the suffering caused by the Clone War. But for Anakin, the situation was complicated by the upcoming birth of his children, and the fear that Padme would die in childbirth. Tensions continued to rise between the Jedi Council and the Jedi Knight, leaving the only person he could turn to for guidance to be Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. Recounting the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, and how the Sith Lord had manipulated midichlorians to create life, Anakin's conflict made him extremely vulnerable, and with Obi-Wan on Utapau to fight Grievous, Palpatine used this moment to declare that he was the Sith Lord. The years he spent trying to appease Anakin had narrowed down to one moment, and the Jedi Knight chose not to kill him, but instead went back to the Jedi Temple and informed the highest ranked Jedi present, who was Mace Windu, somebody who had loathed Anakin from the first day he had set foot in the Jedi Temple. But what if Anakin had told Obi-Wan about Palpatine instead? Could Obi-Wan stop his padawan before he fell to the dark side? As you're going to realise, the change of masters will alter the course of history. In the Chancellor's office, Anakin lowered his blade, scarcely believing what he had just heard from Palpatine. The weight of the galaxy was upon his shoulders, and his next steps could alter the complexion of the Jedi and the Republic for many generations. But his first move was to leave the office and get away from the darkness that was clouding him. Taking a journey into his starfighter, the Jedi Knight flew in between Coruscant skyscrapers and traffic, reveling in the freedom, and he began to think more clearly. Anakin had initially wanted to go to Master Windu, but he knew that he would be made to wait at the temple, and the opportunity to save Padme would be lost forever. Anakin next thought about discussing with Ahsoka, but not only was she busy apprehending Maul, Anakin also did not want to burden her with such a difficult decision. As the solution dawned upon him, Anakin dived in between two civilian speeders and turned back to the temple hangar, where he slid haphazardly into several other ships before running to the communications room. Activating the large holotable in the centre of the room, he was not surprised to find Commander Cody at the receiving end of his signal, and the loyal clone commander informed Anakin that Obi-Wan was on his way, having just killed General Grievous, and the Jedi Master looked exhausted. Nevertheless, Obi-Wan could see Anakin as pale as a ghost, as he heard that Palpatine was the Sith Lord. The Jedi Master was not surprised, as Mace Windu had revealed his suspicions in their previous discussions with Yoda, but their worst fears had been realised. Obi-Wan could sense something more from Anakin, and suggesting that his Padawan thought Padme was in danger, Anakin could merely nod, so following a brief pause, he asked Anakin to be patient, whilst he returned to Coruscant. The Jedi Knight watched the figure of his master disappear, and used force speed to run past all of the Jedi, until he is stopped by Mace Windu in the temple's hangar. The Master of the Order had been convinced by Obi-Wan that they needed to be patient, and gathering as many Jedi Council members as possible, Obi-Wan finally arrived from Utapau. Yoda knew that arresting Palpatine, before they could investigate his connections and other operations, could lead to anarchy for the future of the Republic, and the Jedi's reputation would be shattered. At that moment, the Council received an incoming transmission from Mandalore and their former Padawan Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka revealed what Maul had told her about the Sith Lord's plan for Palpatine, and the Jedi planned for Anakin to move away from Palpatine before he could become the new Sith apprentice. Anakin looked enraged at the Jedi for cutting off his path to saving Padme, but Obi-Wan calmly escorted him to one side and promised him access to the extensive knowledge of the Jedi archives, even though he was not a master. Anakin is somewhat reassured when Rex intervened Ahsoka's transmission and revealed a data log he had found involving Nala Saiyan 5s, then told the Council about his suspicions about the control chips. Yoda looked thoughtfully at the battle around him on Kashyyyk and dispatched Shakti and Anakin to find and capture the Kaminoans for evidence against Palpatine. The Jedi Knight cannot bear the thought of being away from Padme for any more amount of time, but rather cleverly, he decided to take Padme's Naboo starsskiff, allowing the Senator to be aboard with C-3PO and R2-D2. With the departure of the two council members, the Jedi next needed to capture the Separatists, who had hidden their location from the Republic until Commander Cody's search on Utapau. From a previously logged transmission, the 212th Battalion discovered that they were being taken to a secret base on the planet of Mustafar, and Kir Fisto and Sazy Tin had deployed to find them. But as the Jedi appeared to be regaining the upper hand, the voice of Palpatine echoed through the galactic city, ordering for all of the senators to gather in the arena for what he called an emergency meeting. That is it for part 1 of What If Anakin Told Obi-Wan About Palpatine. If you'd like to see a part 2 soon, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.